An important part of this story is the emergence of human life and how we fit into the scheme of things. That also has something to do with our being the authors of them. There's a cautionary tale here, too, because humans built in their own ideas about authority and hierarchy and other structures. Those who created the myths, as well as those who have interpreted them over the years, have tried to institute their own ideas about whether we be playing baseball or football, metaphorically speaking. As we know, some of these stories have been used to oppress and subjugate the planet, other people, and nature. If a warlike God created the universe, then it follows that the world will be organized more like the military, with a rigid hierarchy, and with the idea that it's okay to fight with people, and even to take their land. If the model of God is love, then life will be organized around principles of treating each other kindly and fairly. If we envision a creative force behind the origins of the planet, then we might better enact the creative impulse in our lives. The same could be said for intelligence. If there is an intelligence or a consciousness that created this world, then the universe will unfold with awareness. If the model of God is an ecological one, then existence will be understood as organic, as evolving and growing. Whatever creation story we tell today must be able to address the very real concerns of the 21st century. It will need to help us have a sense of belonging here as part of the continuum of time and space and as part of a much, much larger story. It will help us understand we are participants in the world. It will help us see that we have a role and a responsibility. It will help us see the hope for a better world, one that we don't look at and think of as irretrievably broken, but as filled with possibility and opportunity for renewal. Kinship will be its aspiration rather than mastery over people, nature, and planet. Creativity and innovation will be prized rather than a closed, rigid system, hurling toward a foregone conclusion. Suffering and death will be taken seriously as part of the fabric of life, but there will always be the hope for healing. Do baseball or football, a cosmic egg, squabbling gods, the earth as God's body, or some other model of creation, provide a framework from which we might address the challenges that confront us and help us create a future filled with promise. No matter which sport we might prefer, when it comes to everyday life, we would probably agree we prefer a cap to a helmet and a picnic to a rumble. We might recognize that the game of solitaire would create a lonely planet, and Scrabble would be a great linguistic model that would celebrate creative use of language. A potluck dinner would offer a gathering to which we would each bring our best dish and from which we could feed the hungry. There is no better time in the history of life on this planet to reconsider our creation story. What is your story? What is our story? Perhaps there's no better